Near a deep mysterious forest stood a small, quiet village. At the very edge, in a humble hut, lived a young Muslim woodcutter. He had no wealth, no luxuries to speak of, but his heart was rich with contentment and peace. Every day, from the first light of dawn until the sky turned dusky purple, he would venture into the forest to chop wood. His work was hard, his body often tired, but his face always wore a quiet smile of gratitude. He found his joy in the simple things, in honest labor, in his unwavering devotion to Allah, and in the quiet rhythm of his life. Deep within that same forest, hidden from human eyes, lived a beautiful witch. Her beauty was breathtaking, but her heart was filled with a profound loneliness. Unlike the other witches who reveled in their dark magic, she found herself yearning for the life of humans. She would watch them from the shadows, mesmerized by their laughter, their simple work, and the small, everyday joys they shared. The other witches found her strange, an outcast in her own world, and so she was left utterly alone. Every night, she would steal to the edge of the forest, her eyes fixed on the warm, glowing lights of the village. A deep ache would fill her chest, a longing for a life she felt she could never have. And so she would sing. Her songs were haunting and sorrowful, melodies that drifted through the trees like a mist. Her voice, filled with an ancient sadness, carried her deepest desire to live among humans, to feel love, and to finally belong. One evening, as her mournful song echoed through the woods, she saw the young woodcutter walking along the path. He stopped, completely captivated by the mysterious melody that seemed to call out to his soul. For the first time in centuries, the witch felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps this man, with his quiet strength and gentle heart, could be the one to fill the emptiness inside her. From that night on, she dedicated herself to winning his heart. She became a gentle breeze that caressed his face as he worked. When she saw him tired and hungry, she would leave the sweetest, most perfect fruits along his path. She surrounded him with enchanting fragrances, hoping to draw him closer to her, closer to the forest's edge. Sometimes, she would take on a human form, watching him from the shadows with a soft, hopeful smile, her heart fluttering with a mix of fear and excitement. The woodcutter soon began to notice these strange, gentle occurrences. The wind felt too personal, the fruits appeared too perfectly, the scents were too enchanting to be natural. A strange curiosity began to grow within him, a subtle fascination that pulled at his thoughts. He found himself drawn to the mystery, to the beautiful voice in the woods, and to the unseen presence that seemed to follow him. One day, filled with a newfound boldness, he stood at the edge of the trees, and called out, "Who is there? Show yourself. I am not afraid of you." Hearing his call, the witch knew she could no longer hide. She stepped out from the shadows, appearing before him in her beautiful human form. Her voice trembled as she spoke, laying her lonely heart bare. "I am a witch," she confessed, "but I am different from the others. I have been alone for centuries, and I long for a human life. A simple, honest life, full of love. I have watched you, and I have admired your pure heart. Now, I wish to be yours. I want to marry you, to live with you in this world I adore so much." The woodcutter felt a powerful pull towards her. Her beauty was undeniable, her sorrow was palpable, and her longing felt as real as his own. His heart fluttered, and he finally understood why his thoughts had been so consumed by her. He was attracted to her, fascinated by her songs and her gentle gestures, caught in the thrill of this beautiful mystery. That night, his sleep was troubled by a vivid, haunting dream. He saw himself straying from his path of truth. He saw himself abandoning his simple life, his honesty, and his devotion to Allah, wandering lost in a world of illusions and darkness. The dream was a stark warning. He realized that giving in to this temptation, even for a love that seemed so real, could mean losing the very foundation of his life, the principles he held most dear. He awoke before dawn, his heart pounding in his chest. He immediately turned to prayer, seeking guidance and forgiveness from Allah as the sun rose. The answer became clear in his heart. No matter how deep the fascination, he could not abandon the path of truth. True love, he understood, could never demand that he betray his own soul. The next morning, the witch appeared again, her eyes shining with hope, believing he would accept her. But the woodcutter spoke with a voice that was both gentle and firm. "I am grateful for your love," he said softly, "and I can see the purity of your desire. But my life is guided by my faith in Allah, and I must remain true to that path. I cannot accept your offer not because your love isn't real, but because no love should ever ask a person to abandon their principles." The witch's heart shattered. With tears in her eyes, she tried one last time. She sang her most beautiful songs. She offered him the rarest gifts, and her gentle presence lingered near him, but he remained steadfast. His resolve was unshakable. Slowly, painfully, she understood the truth. She realized that it was impossible for her to ever have the kind of pure, true love she so desperately craved. Her world and his could never truly merge. And so, with a final, sorrowful glance, she turned and walked back into the deep woods, banishing from his sight forever. The moment she was gone, the forest itself seemed to sigh. The leaves hung silently, and the wind carried a new whisper of sorrow. The Muslim woodcutter continued his days as before, chopping wood, poor in wealth but rich in peace. Yet sometimes, when the night breeze rustled through the trees, he would feel a faint echo of her memory. The memory of a beautiful witch who had loved him deeply, singing her sorrowful songs at the edge of the village. She had left behind a loneliness that would never completely fade, a haunting, a reminder that even the deepest love cannot force someone to abandon their faith or the path they are meant to walk. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more content like this.